Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft cabin in Lancashire, England. Today I'm going to share with you some handmade watercolours. Now these are by a small independent maker, Nibs Watercolours, so all the colours are handmade and her shop is over on Etsy. I've had the big tin of watercolours on the left for quite some time. And I've just recently added some new colours in the smaller tin that you can see there. And I thought this was a really good opportunity to share some of the granulating colours that they have in the range. So here I've set my page out in my traveller's notebook. And this is just a closer look at those gorgeous paints. You can see that actually within the range there is quite a number of different shimmer and sparkle colours, and then some of those matte colours as well, some of which are really granulating, which I love because it gives such a lovely texture on the paper. And these are the newest colours that I've just added. So you can see that I've added more matte colours, still some sparkles though on the top. They just look so lovely when they catch the light on the page. So I've chosen 6 colours to share out of the Nibs palettes today, and I've set up the page already, just drawing in some rectangular boxes and writing the colours underneath. And I'm going to start by putting a thick application of colour on the page and then water it out as we get to the end of that rectangle, and that will give you a bit of an idea of some of the different shades that you can achieve just out of one of the single colours. This first colour, Lightning, has a lovely kind of turquoisey teal background colour, and then you can see that the granulation is more of a navy blue. It's really lovely. You'll see better in a little while once it dries actually, just how lovely this colour is. So you can see as I'm applying the paint doesn't go down onto the paper quite as smoothly as I would want. This is a watercolour paper. It's the first time that I've used this paper actually. It's one of the watercolour paper inserts for the Traveller's Notebook by the Traveller's Company. And I've had the pad for a while in the back of my notebook and haven't used it, and thought that it would be lovely to use as a watercolour swatch book. But you can see there that the sizing on the top of the paper is just repelling some of the water and the paint slightly. So it just takes a little bit longer really to get a smoother application of the paint. So you might see me going back and forth a little bit depending on the paper that you use. You know, you wouldn't necessarily have this issue, but I do persevere with the swatches. And you can see here that Thunder is a really lovely grey blue colour. It actually really reminds me of a Payne's grey, which is one of my all-time favourite colours. So this is definitely well used within that Nibs palette. And next we have the colour Sloin. So you'll see that as this goes down, it's a really deep pinky colour that actually waters out to a lovely pale pink, and it's got a hint of purpley blue granulation in it when this colour actually dries. So the when it's kind of put down on the paper in its darkest tone, it does remind me a little bit of alizarin crimson. And then, like I say, it goes out, washes out to a really, really lovely pale pink colour. So this one is Rhubarb Fix, and this is definitely in the violet family. It reminds me a little bit of a perylene violet, and you can see it's got that lovely red leaning purple tone, and then again the granulation in this colour is kind of bluey grey, so it gives a really lovely granulated effect once it's dry. Now, granite is the most gorgeous grey. It again, a little bit of blue in the granulation, perhaps a little bit of kind of a buff titanium colour as well, kind of creeping in there. It's really, really nice. I just love the complexity of this colour, and it looks very different, kind of in mass tone compared to in that paley wash. So I think again this definitely is going to be a favourite in my palette going forwards. I really do love it. And then last but not least is Charcoal. This reminds me a little bit more of a neutral tint. Again, a tiny little bit of blue granulation, not as much as the granite, but it's more of a black grey, more of a true grey. So just, like I said, just a different colour option there. So these are the swatches complete, and I'm sure that you'll agree that they are just so yummy together. I absolutely love these colours. I just think that they all complement each other really nicely. I can really envisage using these together in a piece. They're just right up my street, these lovely colours, and I do love the granulation. I mean, I'm showing you some close-ups now of what that granulation looks like once it's dry, and you can really see those mixes coming out. And yeah, I just really love the visual interest that creates on the paper. So now I'm going to put the colours through the paces a little bit, and I'm going to paint a floral on the right hand side of this spread, just to see how the colours work in a piece of art and kind of how they work together, the kind of variety that you might get when you're painting some florals. Florals are a bit of a go-to for me. I'm a floral girl, and floral watercolours are actually where it all started with my art practice. So just over 7 years ago, I think, was when I started to create art. And the thing that I wanted to do was to be able to paint watercolour flowers. So I definitely, whilst I love mixed media, I do still like to regularly go back to that kind of watercolour floral thing. I just find it really relaxing, and yeah, it just makes me happy seeing the colours on the page. It's definitely like colour therapy. And I think that's why I love watercolours so much, because seeing kind of what you get on the page, it's always a little bit unexpected to an extent. It's a more uncontrollable medium than something like acrylic, for example. So yeah, I'll leave you to watch me painting for a while, and then I'll pop back in at the end. like to add some loose lines in either coloured pencil or in this case tinted charcoal to a final piece. I feel like it just gives the watercolours a little bit more structure, and it's just something that I really like, and I like to add kind of just outlines in the background as well. So here I'm using some of the Derwent tinted charcoal pencils just to add, like I say, just some kind of random really loose lines just to give them, those flowers, a tiny bit more structure. And I think this works really well on this painting. I think because the paper like I say repels that water and colour a little bit, you can see that with those loose brush strokes there are some kind of white gaps showing, and I quite like that rough and ready look. And the charcoal pencil just pulls it together a little bit, makes it easier for the eye to read what's going on. And here I'm just adding some loose leaves to some of those stems, just again for a bit of variety in the finished piece. So here are the finished pages. I hope that you've enjoyed taking a closer look at these colours. Please do go over and have a look at her shop on Etsy. I don't get any commission. I've paid for these paints myself, just to make that really clear. It's just that I think that they are really lovely, and it's great to support small businesses. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and ring the bell so that you get notified of any new content. Until next time, bye.